Hello, welcome friends. I hope you are able to see me and hear me properly. Welcome to the monthly meeting. I just wanted to start with few announcements before going into the discourse. Uh, so we have been planning for upcoming Bhandara in December 22nd and 23rd. That will be held in Chicago, and you can find the details of the program by going to ishanews.org/events page, and we'll be updating that page soon with a few more details that are missing currently. So we have provided the dates, so it will be held for 2 days. So those folks who want to come from overseas and take advantage of this wonderful program, you are most welcome to do that. And there are instructions on how to register for the program are available on the website. So please follow that. That will help us make sure that we are able to provide meals for you, the right kind of meal, and we will also know if the venue is going to be sufficient or not. We hope this time, unlike last time, we'll be able to assemble weather cooperating, and if there is a blessing from Ishwarji and Masters, we'll try to do that. Otherwise, we'll have to make alternate arrangements, but we don't know yet. So we'll do our best to have that event. So you all are welcome to join us. We'll be also live casting from there, and we'll also offer means for people to do a remote seva if they want to maybe sing a bhajan or offer a poetry or share some anecdotes. The time will be restricted strictly to 5 minutes, just to make sure that everybody gets a chance. So please follow the instructions that are there in the website by sending an email and answer a few of the questions. And we'll provide some more details regarding Zoom link and so on through the website in coming days. Another update I wanted to give you was regarding the meeting hall construction. I understand that it is a little hard for people to find out details of the progress that is happening, although we send regular updates through a blog site that we have for people who have registered. But we are also looking into ways by which we can give you update through various other means, maybe Facebook or Telegram or other WhatsApp groups, through which you'll be able to easily find what's happening in the data. Like a lot of people wanted to know how the last Mitti Seva happened, and and any updates that happen in the data, like a new pole barn that is being built, we'll be able to give you update through that. Unfortunately, one of the data cams is down at the moment. We haven't really troubleshooted that because it's nobody is well, at least I'm not there, and a few other folks who are technically savvy in troubleshooting it are not available at the moment. So we are still attempting to fix that soon. We'll see what happens. Otherwise, it will happen next year when the weather is better and some of us can make the trip back to Bruce. So so I'll provide you more details as time comes, or you'll through ishanews.org subscription list, you'll be able to find out more details through the updates that we push out on a regular basis. Thank you so much for joining me for this monthly meeting, and I'm as you can see, this is a little different setup this time because there are a few changes happening in my personal life as well. I'm not in Bruce or Chicago, and this is not the normal setup, but please bear with me. I hope you are able to still hear me properly. So I'm just doing a seva for my master, whose picture you can see next to me, Master Ishupuri ji, who just passed away a couple of years back. And So I'm just trying to do the seva that has been asked of me, and a lot of other people in various capacity. So we are all just trying to walk on our path as the master had instructed to us, and as well as do some seva for him that he wanted some of us to perform. So this is my humble service to him, to do what I'm doing right now, and in other various roles that he has asked me to do. So one of the critical things that masters do when they are amongst us is to become our friends and hold our hand and show us the way to discover the true reality. And they say that the body that we have been given is very important in discovering who we truly are. And it happens because we have been seekers, we have been seeking. Some of us have been searching for a long time outside. We all belong to different, maybe background, religious background, different, we speak different languages. We come from various variety of different backgrounds. Those who attended the last Mitti Seva might have seen the variety of folks that came. Some of them were, we ourselves were surprised that these seekers were staying so close to Bruce, and they just somehow discovered that there was a Mitti Seva happening, and they decided to come over. Some other folks just through maybe divine intervention found out that there's a man called Ishwapuriji, and they became curious and maybe got onto internet and found his picture, and through him, through Google or newer social media, they were able to somehow figure out that there was a man, perfect living master, who was here in Chicago, and he is trying to build a dera in Bruce, and now the work is still continuing. And so people from various backgrounds have been surprisingly discovering Santmat and this path that Ishwaji, our master, taught us through various means, and have been reaching out. So I can see, and not only me, but a lot of other folks can see that whatever plan was set in motion a long time back, it's slowly coming to fruition. It's hard to predict when everything will line up. It all depends on the seekers, because we have been searching, and a lot of people with different background have been searching for the truth outside. We have been going to temples, we have been going to mosques, we have been talking to various people who seem to be enlightened, and referring a lot of different books, engaging in intellectual exercises to discover the truth. But somehow, and a lot of us have been initiated in different paths also, in order to search for the truth. And it's mostly traveling to various auspicious places, meeting different masters, getting initiated in different paths, and trying them out. And masters say that all paths are good as long as it is pointing you at the end to your inside, and it guides you somehow to go inside. Ishaji used to talk about a master, the name escapes me suddenly. This master, Sant Fakir Chand, and this master used to say that masters do not know anything. At least this story became quite popular, that masters know nothing, and everything is inside. And Ishwaji had an opportunity to talk to this person, this master himself, back in Dera Byas. And according to Ishwaji, this master used this technique to encourage people to actually seek inside, because our tendencies are that we experience everything outside, and we tend to believe that the reality exists outside, and somebody can show us the reality from outside itself. And there have been a few incidents with this master, Sant Fakichan, that led seekers or his disciples to believe that this master is the ultimate master. He knows everything. And so they started believing in this physical form. And whereas master wanted to encourage all his disciples to go inside, and because according to him, the truth is lives inside of you. The kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of the God stays within you, in this physical body that we consider made out of five elements. This is not just holding these five elements inside, but there's a vast amount of truth that resides within us, and it has all been layered up, built up layer over layer, and it is very hard for us to discover the truth. And we never, for a second, without knowing this truth, believe that this physical, mere mortal body can hold such important truth. And so, as long as all these paths, all the masters, any master who points to us that the truth really exists inside and encourages us to go inside, then we can follow that. And through various coincidences in our life, we bump into these people who come in various background as well. Wherever the seekers are, doesn't matter what sex they have, what age they have, what languages they speak, what countries, nationality they have. That is amazing thing about this path, is that regardless of all these differences, what they say is that we are all human beings at the end of the day. And because we are human being, we have been endowed with some special abilities that have been given by the Creator himself. And a Creator who has not only given us these abilities that are special to human being, he is inside us, each one of us. So within this creation, a Creator is living amongst all of us, all the different life forms we see. Of course, there is a Creator in them, because they're all conscious. But it so happens that this human life that we have been given seems to have some special ability that makes it different from all the other creation that we see around us. In Indian scriptures, they talk about 84 lakh yonis or life forms, 8.4 million life forms, and majority of the life forms are in the plant kingdom, plant, trees, insects. And somehow human being seems to be set apart, because we have something called seeking that arises because we do not know what is going to happen in the future. And we have been given this free will because of not knowing what is going to happen. We believe that we can ourselves make choices and look for whatever we want. So our search in spirituality probably began outside, because we wanted to know if there is a God, if there is a Creator. We see when after we are born, we go through a number of experiences that tells us that this is real outside, because after we are born, we are taken care by our parents. We have a relationship with our family, brothers, sisters, cousins, uncles, aunts. As we grow, we go to school, we have a different relationship with our teachers, mentors. As we grow in life, our mental development happens, and questions seem to arise in our mind depending on the situation that we are going through. And that causes us to think that why these things are happening in my life. If you see this world, it is full of diversity and full of contradiction. On one side, you have these wars going on all the time, and on the other side, we are trying to make our life better by innovating on medicine, technology, trying to make our lives better. There are so many differences. So many people have so much money, and then there are people who are sleeping on the streets. Uh, and there are not only these physical problems, but there are a lot of psychological problems that constantly engage us. It disturbs us, and this leads us to ponder why we came in this life, why we have taken birth in a particular place. Because for a lot of us who have been on this path, they have been seeking, not only because it's just a mental exercise, but they are seeking a resolution to certain things that have happened in their personal life, because of maybe some misery, some death, whatever the case may be. But to me, it seems like somebody who is really happy, it's very unlikely for them uh, to be on this path, search for an answer. Because if you're busy enjoying this life, then good, you'll remain busy, surrounded by all the wealth, all the pleasure that this life has to offer. But for those who have somehow been tired because of the situation we went through in our life, it can be a wonderful trigger for us to seek the truth. And masters have said that uh, it's okay to search outside, but eventually you need to seek inside, because the truth lives inside. And the way this body has been created, it's strange that not only all physical senses are embedded in this physical body, but there are other facets to this physical body as well. We have all emotional needs. We can think in our small head and make decisions. And as masters have told us that we can, there is a process through which we can understand what this body contains. Of course, if you are a scientist or if you are a medical doctor, we have through the normal sciences, we can discover what this physical body is composed of. It has so many vital functions that it performs without even our awareness. We just keep on breathing without putting any effort. Body tells us when it is hungry, when it needs food, when you're exhausted, you want to take a break because body needs to rest and get energy. When it is hungry, that is, it needs energy for your body to operate. It automatically indicates to you that it is hungry. Whenever it needs more fluid to operate, it tells you that it is thirsty. Nobody in a written form tells the body that it needs these things, but somehow it is all the things are inbuilt into the body itself. It automatically grows. It automatically takes out things that is not conducive for the body. If you keep it in a normal circumstances, it automatically takes care of itself. Sleep is an important function of that your body gets break, it recuperates. If your body gets injured, maybe through sickness, it automatically gives you fever so that it can take care of any maybe toxicant that is in the body, or some virus or other form of things that have come into the body. So body has automatic healing mechanisms as well, and things that cannot be done if you have severe accidents. Then modern medicine and modern technologies facilitate ways to taking care of the body. But body seems to be self-healing in quite a number of cases, as long as you take care of your body. You don't excessively eat, you don't excessively put yourself in danger. So there are so many functions performed by the body itself. So it's miraculous in that sense. And but along with the body, we have other kind of relationships that are not physical in nature. It could be, you have a relationship with your siblings, your uncle, aunts, your teachers, various other folks. That somehow also gives a rise to this world that we seem to be trapped in. And we realize because of our experiences, at least for people who have been on this path, that somehow these all relationships somehow pushes you in the direction of spirituality because of its ups and downs. Uh, Everything that we see, experience in our world uh, has a dual nature. Seems like we can't experience one without the other. Without the pain, there cannot be pleasure. Without the night, there cannot be day, and so on. Everything is made out of contrast. You have to have a contrast to be able to see a difference. If I wasn't wearing this dress, the blue dress, blue shirt, t-shirt that you're seeing, you won't see me. You'll probably see the background behind me. Without night, you cannot experience a day, and so the contrast seems to be extremely necessary. And similarly, for on the if you are looking for a lot of money, then somehow poverty also gives you this contrast. Hunger and stomach being full cannot happen if the other side is missing. If you were not hungry, you will not need the food, and you won't know what good food is, what contentment is in terms of eating. So this world, through duality, that is contrasting one against the other, somehow gives us this experience that we are having in this physical body. What masters have told us that this is not the only reality that we have, but there are other layers of reality sitting inside us, and it is possible to discover those realities. And by peeling off the layers that we have, we'll be able to find the essential nature of our that we either can call self or ourself, me, or whatever name you have. uh, you can discover the underlying reality that is covered up by the various layers or the mask that we constantly wear. And this physical reality that we have as a human being is important because in this physical body we can come in contact with the masters and learn the techniques, learn the approaches, various ways of discovering this truth, or various ways of going inside and slowly finding out what the truth is. Masters tell us that we are conscious, and because of our consciousness we are aware of everything that is around us, and this awareness is given to us because of the physical senses that we have 9 doors: eyes, nose, mouth, and various other sense perceptions through which we create the reality that we experience outside. If we did not have eyes, we won't be able to visually see what is in front of us. But not only that, the ears, that give us the sense of reality in a different way. And by touching the same thing, the objects that you see, we can again attest to the same reality that we are experiencing through other senses. So in a way, the senses that we have corroborate each other. They tell us about the same existence that is being experienced through one sense perception. And when you combine the experience that we get through hearing, touching, tasting, all of them as if coordinate with each other into giving us the sense of reality, hard reality that is in front of us. That doesn't mean that these are the only reality that exist. Our sense of seeing is quite limited. There's a range of frequencies. If you go into the science, there are a range of frequencies that we can hear and see. There are various other wavelengths of light, let's say X-ray, gamma rays, and other sounds that we cannot perceive ourselves, because the eyes that we have, physical eyes that we have, are only capable of understanding or absorbing certain wavelengths. Similarly, our ears are capable of only perceiving certain range of wavelengths or audio frequency. Uh, you might know that certain animals like dog, horses, their hearing range is much large, much different, at least somewhat different from us. And not only they can hear us, but they can also hear other frequencies. And there are people, there are whistles that have been designed through which they can hear it, and they can, as you give instructions to these animals, they can they can understand your command. So they have those hearing abilities. So the physical nature, because of the physical apparatus that is built into us, we can experience this physical world. But is it possible to experience something else, or is this the only reality? What masters tell us that there is a reality beyond this that we experience, and they in fact tell us that the ups and downs that we see, because of which we get frustrated and we feel that we want to run away from this, because we don't believe we belong to this. We have this inner sense that we don't like this, and we want to go somewhere else where there is a quiet, there is a peace, there is harmony, and we don't like all the war. There is so much diversity, so much, especially on the extremes, when there's extreme poverty going on, extreme war going on, extreme death. We cannot cope up with that. So we want to seek an answer, and because of our seeking, our masters come in our midst and guide us how to figure out how to go towards that truth. They tell us that what we see around us is just a maya. It is a illusion being created for our experience, because we wanted our experience to be real. And that's why, even though what we experience outside is not reality, in fact, masters tell us that every layer that has been created is giving us the sense of reality, but it is again illusory at the end of the day. And we are truly all one, but experiencing all these different bodies for the sake of experience, for the sake of Moj that creator wanted. And it is just a play for him, because at the top, he knows, he or she, or whatever you want to call it, it knows that this is all a play at the end. And perfect living masters who have experienced that totality of consciousness, where they can see all the layers that have been created and can experience all of them at the same time. Through their experience, they tell us that this is not a reality, and this is just a show being created for the sake of experience. And they lead us down the path where we can, through practice of the meditation approaches that they talk about, we can uncover one at a time the realities that have been built into this body, and go under, turn our attention inside. So I was talking about the 9 doors that give us the sense of this reality, and that holds us in this space that we are. So how do we find out what other realities exist? And masters tell us that if we are somehow able to not have the experience that we are having right now, we'll be able to uncover a different reality. But how do we do that? We do that naturally. Sometimes when we sleep and we have dream, we do experience a different world that is not physical in nature. And when we die, we experience that as well, because we don't have the sense of this physical body when we die. But how do we know what happens when we die? Masters tell us that through the process of dying while living, we'll be able to simulate the death, and we will have an idea of what happens when we die, or when our awareness goes out of this body. So our goal through meditation is to somehow detach the physical experience that we're having, and through that we can uncover if there are other realities that exist. And what they tell us is that we have to turn our attention away from where it is right now in the uh, in this moment. When you are experiencing me, you are experiencing wherever you are sitting. So it's very hard to get away from the sense of the physical realities that exist amongst us. But there are other attachments that keep us in this space, in this 3D experience that we're having on this physical plane, and that is through emotional attachment. Also, it keeps us in this plane, and because of our attachment, we are unable to discover if there are other realities as well. And so, what they teach us is how to step by step uh, somehow discover what other realities are. And we can do that through a process of meditation that he taught. And by closing our eyes and closing our ears and sort of closing all the doors that open outside into this physical world, if we are able to subdue that, if we are able to have a control over that, then, and if we sit for sufficient time by not having the external senses give us impulse and distract us, or by having mental thoughts constantly engage us in the outside entanglements that it has created. So somehow, if we are able to disengage from not only physical senses, but our mental processes, emotional attachment that we have, then we'll be able to discover something else that might exist. But it requires a practice. So what they tell us is that we close our eyes, we sit in a place that is comfortable, and close all the external senses that we have. And what happens when we close all our senses? If you recall your experience when you go to sleep, at some point you just switch off when you are lying in the bed, but wake up in the dream. You remember having maybe a cup of coffee, or eating a meal, or having fruit, or talking to your friend, riding bicycle, whatever you are having in your dream. So that somehow opens up a world for you, because we are conscious being. According to masters, we never die. We hold that spark, we hold that small unit of consciousness in us that never dies. What dies is the physical experience that we're having. The physical body that we have, is it keeps changing, but what is truly us never changes. It always remains, and that is the truth. But to discover that truth, we have to know that there is something, a part of us, that will still remain beyond this body. So we can get a glimpse of that in our sleep, that because of the dream that we're having, you can get a sense that your physical body is just lying down somewhere, and yet you are having a different kind of experience. So it is possible to have an experience outside this physical body in our day-to-day experience. And sometimes people have astral experiences which are even more concrete, which seem even more real than the reality that we experience. But when we wake up, we realize that that was just a dream. Same thing can happen in imagination as well. When we imagine something, then that can also feel like it's very true, it's very real. But we have been sort of accustomed to thinking that this is the only reality, and that's why it feels real to us, because we don't know of any other reality at this plane of existence when we are experiencing this reality. And we don't hold multiple realities at the same time. You can't be in the dream while doing your normal duties. We don't have those kind of experiences. So when we imagine, we can have a sense of very concrete reality in our imagination. But because we know of this physical reality as the only reality, we somehow tend to dismiss whatever we can experience in the imagination. Our master Ishaji used to conduct meditation workshops, where he used to ask people to play with orange juice in their body, and also imagine there are various flowers while meditating, and lots of satsangis have experienced various things. Flowers appear out of nowhere, or they are able to see themselves in a mirror in a different shape. And but somehow we tend to dismiss the importance of imagination, because for us the physical reality is the only reality we know of. So anything other than that, we like dream, we tend to dismiss it, only thinking that the physical reality is the only reality. So if you are able to somehow close off the doors that are outside, and somehow be in the space, uh, or if you like, the same uh, uh, dome that Ishwaji used to ask us to make, dome where we sit in the middle of the dome. uh, Imagine that the head that we have is like a dome, and we are sitting right in the middle of the dome, between our temples and between our eyes, and sitting in a comfortable chair, and with eyes closed and ears closed. It's not possible to close ear, but you sit in a place that is silent, and uh, try to not get distracted by things that are happening outside, the sounds that are coming from outside, and you remain still, so that your physical the touching senses, are not distracting you. So once you sit, once you're able to comfortably sit with your eyes closed, of course we see darkness, because the source of light is not hitting our retina, our eyes, so we cannot see anything. But because our attention also is outside, we can remember the place we are sitting in. We remember what is outside, or remember our family relationships, or different things that are bothering us, that keep us holding in that same space, and it doesn't let us experience anything else. So through practice, though, by making a dome out of our head, where we imagine that eyes are in front, ears are on the side, and we are sitting smack in the middle of this dome that is a head. It is a process of imagination, where we are sitting inside. We are not playing with these physical eyes or ears. We are not trying to roll our eyes back in the middle of the room, middle of the head, but we are just playing with our imagination. Uh, why is imagination important, though? Imagination is just a tool uh, that helps us somehow uh, forget whatever is outside. It is amazing that we have been uh, uh, given these senses, and but senses let us discover the world that is there, but we have also been given a power of concentration, and we can pay attention to whatever we see, whatever we experience, and somehow that experience becomes richer. As master used to give example of symphony playing, and if there are various musical instruments playing, you can just focus on a particular one, and then somehow you forget the other instruments that are playing. It can happen in a room where a lot of people are talking, and then you are having conversation with somebody. Then you realize that you are somehow not able to hear other conversation or other people's face. So we have this ability of concentrating our attention in some place, and automatically disengaging from the other physical experiences that might be happening at the same time. So through imagination, we are able to concentrate. We imagine the room, the place we are sitting in, the chair that we're sitting in, and whatever other things that you can decorate your room with, like a vase with flowers and drapes. You can imagine the color of the floor. You can imagine a master sitting in front of you. You can imagine whatever you want. But the way imagination helps you is detaching you from the other realities that are physically happening. and it concentrates your attention in your right in your head, where everything, all the experiences that are happening are emanating from. Your consciousness is operating from there, and that consciousness in normal waking state goes out through the 9 doors that we have, and that creates the world that we experience. Now, somehow taking that consciousness back, or reverting the direction, or withdrawing the consciousness that is going out from the 9 apertures, brings you back to the same place where you are already there. And by going back, we will be able uh, to detach all the experiences that we are physically having, and in the process we will find that imagination that we that's one of the tools that we are using, is not so imaginary after all, because you'll be able to find things that you have not experienced in your physical reality. Some people have experienced seeing flowers that are of completely different color. It has a different radiance that is not experienceable through these physical eyes somehow. So it is possible to experience some of these realities by process of imagination and withdrawing the awareness that is going out constantly. And so once we are able to do that on a regular basis, then we realize that there is a big world, bigger than the normal world, the physical world that we are accustomed to. We understand that the physical universe is infinite, and but masters used to say that the inner world is even bigger. It's hard to imagine how infinity, some other reality, the inner reality, can be bigger than infinity that is available in the physical plane. And but yet masters have, through their own experience, have told us that the inner reality is even bigger, because it's easier to check out the reality. It is easier to travel vast distances because of the lightweight body that we have in the inner worlds that we can experience. In fact, I was just hearing a couple of days back some discussion, and according to that, people say 4 or 5 thousand years back in India, they were able to somehow describe the cosmos, the physical universe that we see, even before any of the modern technologies were available. So the question arose as to how they were able to do that. If there were no rockets or modern means of transportation, even with the rockets that we have today, it's very difficult to go, further than moon. And people have been talking about traveling to Mars and other planets, but through physical objects, physical rockets, it's very hard to do that. So how is it that in olden times, on the Eastern world, a lot of scriptures have been written that have detailed this physical cosmos to a great accuracy? So how is that possible? And a lot of people believe that they were able to make use of this science by going inside and tapping into this what we can call astral world, that is much sukshma or small than the physical, the gross world that we experience. And by able to detach, and they were able to detach the physical reality that we normally experience, and then go into another world with the astral body. And they were able to travel outside the physical confinement we normally are in, and they were able to travel great distances. And through their travel, they were able to discover the different planets, the composition of this whole universe, and they were able to write that into our scriptures. So it is possible. It is possible to discover another reality, but that is just yet another reality. And what masters tell us that there are multiple realities inside us, and once we are able to get comfortable with the astral world, where we have sense of this body, physical, not physical body but astral body, and we can do meditation there as well, because we have a consciousness, and there also we have a point of consciousness through which the consciousness itself is emanating out of the astral body, astral sense perceptions that have been built, and that creates the world around us. So it's possible to go beyond that into a world of a causal world from where everything is being created, a mental world that is responsible for all the creation that we see around us. So it is possible to dig inside us, go inside us, withdraw the attention that is flowing out, withdraw the consciousness that is going out, and discover a completely what may seem like a completely new world to us in terms of discussing this. But people who have witnessed the inner world, they realize that we have already been there. This is not a new. We just took a different experience in this physical body, but we are alive in the inner worlds. And so slowly, with practice and with grace of master, we'll be able to discover the inner world slowly. Our job is to just follow instruction that masters have given for us. Manmukhs, or people who follow their mind, they participate in the worldly affair, and they get more and more entangled, and the cycle of life and birth continues for them because they are enjoying this ride. But for those who are true seekers, they should follow. They should be like obedient disciples, Gurumukh, who follow the instructions of their masters, and practice whatever they have been taught to the best of their ability. And ultimately, it is in master's hand as to what happens. And especially if you have been initiated, regardless of whether your master is living or has passed away, he is always living. He is living in the inner worlds, and he is guiding you, and he is waiting for you inside if you have been initiated. So we need not worry and find another living master. And we just have been given all the instructions while master was alive in this body, and we just need to follow it one at a time, step by step, so that we can turn our attention inside and find what lies inside, and what masters have told us that it is much more beautiful than what we experience in this world right now. So with this, I would like to conclude the monthly meeting today. I hope to have some good news in maybe next or next to next satsang, where I can talk more about the progress of meeting hall. Thank you.